All right, guys, I'm going to start today's meeting. It's 10 o'clock on Wednesday, August 5th. It's exciting to see all of our great friendly affiliates back. And you can tell we're all still working and doing our best. So I'm Kelvin Chang, broker manager of Coldwell Banker Dynasty. And I just wanted to introduce our friendly affiliates. I'll bring up the slides and I guess we'll take it in any order. I know I saw Scott there first. You want to take us off, Scott?
All right, I will. Scott Shimamoto. I'm now with Journey Mortgage Advisors. So it's the same team of people, just a different company. We became a broker, which now like right now, that's a really great channel to be in. But thanks for all the support. And, you know, if you guys need pre-approvals, I'd love to help you out. Rates are rocking right now.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Who we got next? Sandy, you were in early.
Yeah, always early. Good morning, everyone. Sandy with First American Home Warranty. Home warranty was deemed essential from the beginning, so we're servicing claims and taking care of your clients. If they have any concerns about how their claims are being handled, are the technicians wearing masks, booties, all those fun things, reach out to me and I can help them in any way. So here to help you guys through however we can through this.
Thank you, Sandy. Brandon, you want to take the next one?
Good morning, everyone. It is definitely weird to not see you guys in person. It's been definitely, 6 months now? But I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe out there. I just wanted to say that I am also, here 100% of the time. You can call me, email me. Whenever you get a listing, again, remember, you can order early. We can get that report to you. And then again, you pay when you close. So anything you need, any content that you need, if you need videos or anything that you need to send to clients, please feel free. I can get you that information.
Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate all your support. Nancy, you want to go next?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see everybody on Zoom. One little thing, real estate are selling like hotcakes, and I know that Kelvin will probably keep you guys updated. Sellers supposed to disclose if there's mellows and everything on extra on the property. And I've been searching because of that. Agent has been asking me for requests for that. So if you are getting a listing, please order our profile, because the tax page in the middle, there's a square that will itemize all the special assessments. Proposition 13 does not allow the county to increase taxes, but because of that, all the votes that we put in added the special assessment. That's what happens in the little square. So all of a sudden you have an Eastfield property that's worth about $400,000. You're paying $10,000 property tax. So those Melrose are itemized there, and you do have the CFD number and the number that each individual city to see how much it is, how long it lasts. I checked one yesterday for a Corona property. That is a school district, and it's 3,000 something every year, and it lasts till the tax year 2043, 2044. So the buyer called the agent, listing agent, said, I want to know how long do I have to pay this? So this is something that I can do for you guys when you get the listing, so it's completely disclosed. I don't want, the buyer might back out of this transaction. So the listing agent called me. So this is something that I want you to be prepared. Get it ahead of time. Send it to the buyer's agent so they say, well, we don't want it ahead of time. So you don't waste time going, counter offer offers and then put in escrow. So I'm here for you. Do your farming. Call me and let's get the deals closed. That's my goal. Thank you very much, Kelvin, everybody. Thank you. Have a good day.
Very wealth of information. There's a lot of I always hear surprises on special assessments and property tax, and in certain areas are taxed unfairly and differently. And we all pay a high share of taxes here in California. So David Tran, you were here early too. David Tran, you want to go next? And Home Guard Home Warranty.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And I kind of missed the opportunity to see each other face by face. I've been sitting here like in prison in my own home. Actually, my boss like it because I'm locked in, work 24 hours a day. And can I imagine myself in an imaginary forum that I don't I don't get to see all the agents in front of me, but I'm assuming they're filling up the whole room right now and staring at me. Still with home guard, home warranty, still working, 10 hours a day. So reliably provide the home warranty service to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. Good to see
Thank
you
you.
as well. We'll go Unita and then Angie next.
Hi, good morning, everyone. How's everybody going? School is starting next week. It's really fast. Summer seems going pretty fast this summer. Everybody's doing well and staying healthy. And Home Warranty of America, we're 13 months home warranty. And for this promotion for this month, we are giving everybody a seller's free coverage for seller listing coverage. So if you have a listing, please reach out to me that I could be able to give that home warranty for free for up to 6 months. And if you are the buyers, we are giving a second refrigerator for free for this month as well. So if you need my help, please give me a call at 213-880-4085. Have a wonderful day.
That was perfect. Great job, Unita. We'll go Angie next and then My True.
Good morning, everyone. Angie Tang, First American Title. Wanted to talk a little bit about farming again. Right now, it's a hot market. If you're not farming, you're not on the bandwagon, please give me a call. We can get your next sellers for you. And then on top of that, don't forget we have this policy called the Proforma policy, which is a policy to give your clients a look at what their title policy will be once we close escrow. Here to help you grow your business and keep it. Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you, guys.
Angie, how's the baby going?
Oh, she's good. She's growing up. How's your baby?
Baby's doing excellent. He's growing and actually walking now.
No way.
Yeah, he's
How many months?
10 and a half months.
Oh my gosh, so quick.
Baby Brady's been, he got a full head of teeth, a full head of hair, and a lot of teeth, and he's eating really well.
10 months? Oh my God, so cute, so fast.
No, he's excellent. My True, are you still there? I saw you on video. I just wanted to.
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Morning, everyone. My True with Fidelity Title. Welcome back to your meetings. So today I would like to talk about title binders. If you guys have a client who's purchasing a property to flip and would like to save on the cost of title, when they go to resell that property, please be sure to have them purchase a title binder. They'll be paying for the title policy plus 10% upfront. When they go to resell the property, they would have to pay on the difference and the current sale amount minus the original sale amount. So if you have a client who's purchased a title binder, please remind them that the binder is only good for 2 years at Fidelity. However, if they like to purchase an extension, they would have to do it so within 2 years and not after the 2 years. I had Escrow called me and wanted to extend the binder, but it was purchased in 2017, which was way over the 2 years that they had to file the extension. So we're not able to assist them in that case, but if they would have contacted us within that 2 years, we could have filed the extension and we would have been able to honor the binder rate. So please have them contact us as soon as they know that they need an extension. So then we can still get the binder rate for them. So hope everyone has an awesome week, and thank you so much, My True with Fidelity Title.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Great pitch. And I just want to say for the affiliates, I know they all work very hard. I've known all these affiliates that we have invited here for many years, and I just ask you realtors to support your local great affiliates because they all here for you. They are a wealth of knowledge. They share every week, and we appreciate having you here and having a mutual support. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Kelvin.
Have a great meeting.
You.
All right, guys, I'm going to start sharing my screen on my PowerPoints. Every week, I've been doing a sales meeting now with you guys for the past month and really trying to make best efficient use of today's time together. I put together new slides and new content every week because I think it's important to stay in front of you. Regardless of whether we're in COVID or not, I want to make sure we're getting the best information and updates. So we'll have a very great meeting today. I put some new slides together, and you guys all see the screen right now, right? All right, I'm going to make it larger and just learn how to mute and unmute yourself if you want to talk to me or ask questions. And we are practicing social distancing, so I do have a company protocol that everyone must read and agree to if you want to come into the building. Since last month, we tracked July 14th 336 California COVID cases, 336,000. It's been the same trend every single week of another 60 to 70,000 as of July 20th. Last week, 466,000. And yesterday night, 500 and almost 20,000. So we're looking at a high, consistent amount of 60,000 increases every week. So it's not getting any better. We're not flattening the curve in California. So I have to make sure that we're all still not letting our guard down and making sure we're all wearing a face mask and keeping our families safe. I added this section here. If you want to click this or go into the slides later on, you can get free testing, LA County. I have heard sometimes that they are now allowing it for mostly for people who have symptoms. Although when I took it, I mentioned the no symptoms and they still let me get my test. Our company prevention plan is very consistent with what has been updated with CAR's guidance. So we're going to post these along all our listings and our offices, and anywhere that you're going. We just want to make sure that all entrance in the common areas are covering with mask and all that stuff. The learning library has been updated at Coldwell Banker University. I know we see this every week, but it's just a fresh reminder to always learn. It's always, every day should be something you get, and you're really just learning a new skill or a new way to do something, or maybe you want to cook a new recipe, or maybe you want to learn how to do different types of real estate sales. Whatever it is, I want to encourage you all to be really focusing on your development, because the skills that you learn last with you for a lifetime, and I really encourage it. So if you want to join some of the upcoming learning courses at Coldwell Banker, I took the liberty to put the links in here and email you guys last night. And there's a special section when it's in bold, it's generate more leads. This is taught by Coldwell Banker's top agents in sales and marketing. So they have this is a specific live instruction, and the ones not in bold are virtual with real classes and real instructors, and the dates are there for you to sign up. I encourage you to really learn how to do business more in the marketing side online. That seems to be what we're looking at for the next trend. Everyone feels that we're all going to be safer at home and continuing to work from home. So why not be online? Why not go where the business and where the rest of the people are there? More than 90% of the buyers are out there. So I encourage you all to learn how to get yourself a nice professional presence online. And I continue to do this twice a week. I'm investing a large portion of my time developing you. So I spend Tuesdays, 2 o'clock, training you on really great topics. If you don't want to get a taste for it, go check out my YouTube channel, and I post all the recordings of my videos, and you'll learn a lot. I can trust you that the slides don't give you anything. It's really the content of what I say. The sales meetings, we're continuing to do it every week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. I'm going to make adjustments maybe for the winter time, every bi-weekly, but it's great having our affiliates back to our sales meeting and seeing them here as well. I feel that the energy and seeing that more people being busy and working, it's going to allow us to encourage us and motivate us that we should be all getting busy ourselves. The economy is not looking great. So businesses, I'm going to share a little business update too. So my YouTube channel does have recordings. Just type in Kelvin Chang, Coldwell Banker Dynasty. You'll find all my slides. Like and subscribe if you want to get the freshest updates and every time I post a new video. We just saw Sandy Franco and Mark Wu's not here today, but they're going to be joining us for our upcoming class. They're going to be teaching about home warranty and how homeowners insurance work together. Excited to have them join us and talk about the differences between the property insurance and the home warranty insurance. And there is a difference. They're both types of insurances. We can't wait to learn more about them. But really the Allstate property insurance, that's more of a liability insurance and major damages or accidents or freak acts of nature. And then your home warranty is covering things that break down that was already working. So just a quick defining way, but just wanted to make sure you set the date and join them for a nice training and get a refresher on property insurance and home warranty and ask them your questions. Next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I mentioned that I do my broker up, do some training. I think it's really important because I'm an economist and I really think it's important to follow the market of the housing in California. So I have taken the liberty of using Jordan Levine. He's the deputy chief economist for CAR, and they share the slides with me, and I want to share them with you, talk about it, analyze it, break it down, and give you a little take, a broker stance and perspective on what we're looking like in the next year, 2 years, the near future of what's going on in real estate, and what should we expect and prepare for. So I hope you can make it. These are, as of July 31st, data, the most recent market updates you can find. So I'll share that with you all Tuesday, 2 p.m. Hope to see you there. One of the slides is a summary. I wanted to take the liberty to share with you is the good, the bad, the ugly of California's so-called recovery. And yes, some businesses have opened. Yes, some businesses have reclosed, like restaurants, you know, they tried it for a few weeks, and because of the bars and social media and social gatherings and beaches, California looks like they had to close some of them back down, and no more barbershops and haircuts anymore. So if you need a good haircut, I do give good haircuts on the side. Right now, we're looking at the good. In terms of California, the progress on the market and economy has shown real estate life. There has been pent-up demand. Housing seems to be flying off the shelves, like it was mentioned already. There's a lot of demand from home buyers because that pent-up demand when there was very, very limited inventory from February through April. So you do see a lot of activity from home buyers. Also, strongly because of the financing is so attractive. My sister just got 2.75% interest rate for a 30-year loan. And that's not even a conventional loan, that's a jumbo loan. So she got a ton of a great rate. So this is definitely allowing buyers more buying power when they're borrowing for much, much less than last year. The realtors do feel optimistic that there's going to be a lot more sales coming soon. So overall, the general feeling that was pulsed and polled by survey from CAR, this is what we're finding, the results. The bad is that there's really a true lack of supply in California. Our housing is, yes, there's building some units, but not many contractors and builders are looking for new projects. They're really fearing the future. So that's why we're really seeing a lack of supply today. In general, the realtors are reporting that they're having weaker production as compared to what they maybe did last year. Normally the summer has been a peak season and very hot market for everybody. But what we're experiencing as realtors is due to the pandemic and due to unemployment and due to all these people who don't want to lose their home or leave their home, you know, this is where everyone's staying at home. They're spending all their time there. So to me, there is those that are working are very busy. Those who are just kind of staying at home and hoping someone, you know, waits for someone to call them, you know, you're not getting as busy as you could be. So I encourage you all to still find safe ways to prospect. The closed sales have shown some dipping, so that might be the ending of some of that pent-up demand. You know, most of the buyers, you know who the buyers are today? It's mostly people in their 20s and 30s. It is people who still have their jobs or have online jobs or jobs and employers that allow them to work from home and keep their salaries. So those are the people who are affording and able to get the financing and pass all the tests. Those are the primary buyers. It's been a great market for those who are upsizing or upscaling to a nicer home, because the luxury and the $1 million homes plus that sector has been impacted negatively, and the values, because not many people with those jobs, same jobs, can afford the high-end luxury homes, And guess what? We already know that the flights and travel from here to China have been halted and stopped indefinitely. So our sales and our luxury homes in our region here in San Gabriel Valley, there's no more foreigner demand. They're buying up cash and taking up some of the inventory. So that may show some dipping in sales as well. The ugly, there's really key factors as economists that we look at, and these indicators that we look at are really moving in the wrong direction. We look at factors such as unemployment rate, that is really high. We look at factors as in the interest rate, and the Fed cut that to 0, and some people are predicting that they might go to negative interest rates. We look at factors regarding the gross domestic product, GDP of the US, and that is definitely looking much, much, much less than years past, because a lot of businesses have slimmed down and have shaved off some of their staff and employment, and maybe they cut like the bottom 20% of their sales teams, and they cut the 20% of the contractors, and they're really looking to downsize and keep their fixed expenses as minimal as possible. So a lot of businesses are looking and doing that, and that has repercussions to the rest of us and our families and friends who might be having reduced hours or might be having different types of shifts. And it's just interesting while they work from home, or we have a lot of Californians that we've already been experiencing before COVID. Californians are getting priced out of the market. It's too expensive to live in here, especially in LA and Northern California. And they're moving to other states that are a little bit more affordable in terms of cost of living. So when you see all those indicators not showing well, it may lead to a not so bright future or near future. So there is a strong level of uncertainty. There is a lot of downside and risk that people are trying to assess and evaluate when they make any large purchases or significant decisions, or when they reopen businesses or expand different franchises and locations, or when they're re-signing their new commercial leases. There's a ton of risk going on, especially in the retail sector, where we're seeing major companies, shopping centers, and a lot of vacancies starting to pop up. So if you want to learn more about that, I'm going to go more in detail and share that with you on Tuesday. I wanted to announce with you a nice virtual conference. We do this every year. Usually there's a big expo from CAR that's free, and we would go to Long Beach or Anaheim. But this year we're doing a virtual conference, October 12th to 14th. I encourage you to save the date and just go to the website to register and join the sessions and conference and classes. And there's a nice big schedule of great speakers who are going to be sharing their knowledge. And a lot of this is going to be about COVID and how to adapt to the new normal, how to do our real estate business and safely, yet still do successfully. And a lot of it's going to have, if you want to learn how to be more online content, I know there's going to be a ton of sessions and breakouts that are going to talk about advertising, marketing, and finding clients online. We got great speakers here like Tom Ferry. You got speakers here like Joel Singer, CEO of CAR. I already see some recognizable faces as are Jordan Levine and Leslie Appleton Young. So Sarah Sudachan, very, very good friends of mine on my Facebook, and good people that are very, very knowledgeable in this industry, very reputable. I want to talk to you about a realtor case study that has happened recently, and I want to share some thoughts because it's important for you to understand and give proper guidance to your clients, especially if you're a listing agent. This situation, they procure a buyer as a dual agent for a home purchase. Everything appears to be going great. The asking price of $725,000 is accepted. The appraisal comes in at $740,000. The buyer's loan is working out. The inspection, the repairs, and all the negotiations, those are already all agreed upon. And the contingencies are removed shortly thereafter. The buyer's loan is approved. Loan docs are ready. Buyer schedules the notary for loan docs, and 2 days prior to the closing date, the seller suddenly instructs the listing agent in an email and escrow, please halt and hold the sale. 2 days prior to close of escrow. We were about to fund, the buyer was wiring his funds in, and the bank was sending their funds in. The buyer already paid a lot of fees in the escrow. Buyer asked the listing agent, what is going on? What happened? I was expecting to move in this couple of days. And if this happened to you, what would you do? Any thoughts, any suggestions or strategies you would take? Well, the answers are there in front of you, but even if the answers are there in front of you, it's a very difficult circumstance to be in from all sides, especially if you're a dual agent trying to help the buyer and seller. You got to call me or call your broker manager immediately to get involved in this type of situation. This is not a joke. This is serious, and definitely need to track and document very thoroughly at this point, because it's probably not very, there's probably not a compelling or real reason why a seller could cancel at so late in the stage of the game. Send all documentation, the timelines, and any relevant information and background for the broker to review, so I have something to understand and have a very meaningful discussion with you and this client. Because I'm not here to leave you alone and just tell you what to do. When it comes to a serious situation like this, you call your broker, and I'm going to get into the trenches with you, and I'll have to really talk and set up a conference call with you and the seller directly, because I don't want to I want to be able to find a way to save and salvage this transaction and have a happy ending, because that's what we're all working towards. It's supposed to be a win-win situation. So I need to understand what's the reason and motivation to cancel this sale, why the sudden instructions, and I can give maybe some proper guidance and explain the consequences if the seller decides not to allow the sale to go through. There are consequences to this, and because it's so late, 2 days prior to closing, the seller does not have a strong argument why they can cancel the sale. I can't force them to sell, and the escrow will listen to the parties, the buyer or the seller. So escrow will follow instruction, and if the seller gives instructions not to record, escrow will follow. But escrow will not decide the repercussions and consequences. That's for a broker manager to come step in. And ultimately, if there's no agreement on the penalties, then we're going to go to arbitration hearing. So I try to avoid arbitration and try to talk to the seller and understand and try to come out with a reasonable course of action. And if they choose not to sell, that's fine. I can't force them, but I got to tell them that there's going to be some repercussions and damages that are involved. And so I need you as an agent to be very strong in these categories. I need you to understand and read the RPA in detail regarding cancellation rights for a buyer and for a seller. I need you to read the forms on the CAR that they provide to us that are written by attorneys. I would like you to read the arbitration clause that is constantly reviewed and practically on every contract out there. The arbitration discusses the steps that are taken and when and how we use it. I also want you to read liquidated damages as well, but I didn't write that. I need you to get familiar how to use the CAR form notice to seller to perform, the timing that's involved with it, which is 2 days of action. Demand to close escrow is another form where the buyer or seller could send to the other party a demand to close escrow, or it risks the other party being able to cancel. And I need you to understand the cancelled contract, the buyer's demand to release the deposit when the seller holds a deposit in escrow jeopardy and refuses to release it. Also, there's another form here called buyer early occupancy agreements, and that was mentioned as a solution. I used all of these damn forms in this case that I was working with the seller and the buyer because we work for both parties. And I had to be very detailed and thorough with both sides because I cannot let any mistakes happen when there's a situation like this, because I already know it's going to go to arbitration. And it's going to be reviewed by someone who's going to be impartial, and they're going to make a decision. So in this situation, you call me to get involved. You can also get additional support from the CAR legal hotline for some consultation and your protection for liability and your risks. Ultimately, we need to discover the true intent and motivation for a sudden cancellation and find out, why did this come from? Where did it stem from? And honestly, in this situation, I need to separate reasoning, rationale from, some hidden or personal emotions. And sometimes people act emotionally, but guess what? It's going to have real results and repercussions if they do that. So I at least need to explain it. I need a document. I need to have my butt covered in writing. So we'll see what happens in arbitration, but this is what you need to do. This is very, very terrible. I feel bad because the agent and realtor did as best job they could. Everything was, the stars aligned, everything was ready to go and ready to set to record. And then suddenly one day prior to the funding, this happens to the agent. So I feel bad for the agent. I don't leave the agent alone and just tell them, oh, you should have done this and this and this. I jump into the trenches with the agent. I support them. I'm going to fight for their commission because I think that's something that I should do as a broker. All right. So that's that case study. Any questions on this or any clarifications you want to know before I jump to the next topic? All right, well, the next case study is dealing with a seller who is dealing with a tenant issue. The seller has a rental property for sale. Long-term renters been there for more than a few years, and the tenants allow showings. They're completely cooperative, but they're only paying 70% of the rent due to COVID, being impacted by COVID for the past few months. Guess what? The listing agent goes out and sells the property, markets it on the MLS, and receives several offers. And all of the offers that they receive request that the property be delivered vacant at close of escrow, since most of the buyers prefer to owner occupy. I don't know about you, but if you've been selling for the past few years, you definitely must have had a situation where you had a tenant-occupied property. So this applies to you. If you're selling a listing with a tenant-occupied property, when you present all the offers, the landlord tells you, the agent, I do not want to be involved with any evictions. I don't want to talk to the tenants. I want you as the listing agent, you're my agent, be responsible for the communications and evict the tenant, and I give you full authority to go ahead and do all that stuff. Okay, handle it is what the seller tells you. Okay, get me the best offer, and I've done this myself. I know you've been experiencing this situation too, but if you're in this situation, are you thorough in your explanation to the sellers? Have you thought of all possible solutions and strategies how to address the counteroffer? Then I tell you, first and foremost, you can try to do MLS private remarks and write in to the buyer's agents, write some instructions. Owner prefers to sell property with existing tenants. You could be upfront if you want and share. Currently, tenants are paying 70% of the rent. You could have attached the lease. No, you don't attach the lease agreement, but you can let the buyer's agents know you have a preference to know. For example, no termite or no fumigation and no repairs is what everyone writes on there, sold as is. But what I want to share with you is a few steps and strategies outside the box as well. First of all, I share some articles and guidance that they have right here on the CAR website for landlords, because it explains frequently asked questions and how to treat certain tenants, and what are the rules for evicting a tenant, especially if a tenant may not be in breach of the contract. Paying 70% of the rent is not a breach of the contract right now, because the tenants are protected by California's moratorium for evictions. So they're not breaching the contract, they're in compliance and whatnot. When you talk about how do I some strategies to go over this, I always want to build a positive relationship with that tenant and have an open communication and dialogue to be helpful, to be supportive, to see what are their issues and separate those from their needs and wants. And you know, some hopefully I can give them some solutions in the event I need their cooperation. I have the relationship to call them and work something out. What I also do is I provide the seller, when I have these multiple offers, what are the options we can treat and handle our counteroffer or multiple counteroffer. The best way we can really find the best buyer for our situation probably is the buyer who's willing to assume the existing tenants. So even though it's written for the buyers to have it delivered vacant, and that's a demand, does not necessarily mean that's how the outcome must be, because seriously, all you have to do is negotiate and do your job. We as agents, that's our job, is to negotiate and work out the terms and conditions of the contract to our client's favor in their best interest. So I could follow their instruction, but I definitely don't want to be responsible for the eviction of a tenant if I don't have to. So usually what I would do is first of all, what I would try to do is I try to call the buyer's agents directly and see how important this is, how negotiable is the delivered vacancy term to them. And, you know, not talking about price, I just talk about, you know, if we consider you for your offer, you know, is your client absolute required to have it delivered vacant, or are we able to work something out because the seller prefers to have this delivered with the tenant or not have to deal with the eviction? Okay. And so I could feel out and talk with the buyer, come to some strategies, see how important it is. And at the same time, I'm actually gauging the buyer's agent's expertise and professionalism. So I'm able to filter and gauge how strong, how experienced they are. Can they control their client? Are they having, you know, a good down payment? If they're looking to occupy, is there a certain need that they have to have come in within a certain time, or are they willing to wait? So when I had those discussions, and I have a good sense of what you call a sense of being able to read someone, and I rely on my judgment. I rely on my own judgment on, can this person, can they be patient? Can I handle them? Can they handle their clients? So I propose a solution of selling the property with the tenants in place, but perhaps I can give a notice to the tenants during the escrow period to allow this 60 days for that tenant to vacate. I can maybe provide a notice, but I'm not responsible for the eviction. So I can do that. I can separate an action we'll take on behalf for the buyer to get it delivered vacant, but I won't be responsible for the outcome. Because honestly, they always say guarantee that the home is going to be delivered vacant. I am the agent. I'm not even the property owner. I don't know the tenant very well. How can I guarantee the action of somebody else? I can't. I can't guarantee that that tenant will cooperate. I cannot guarantee that they will have somewhere else to move, and guarantee that they're going to be cooperating 60 days from today, because you know what? People change. Just like my previous example, They were ready to go one day and then ready to cancel the next day. So I don't guarantee anything like that. All I guarantee is my hard work, my dedication, my professionalism, and my fiduciary duty to you as my client. That's what I guarantee. The other discussion I would aim for in this situation is I could structure a longer escrow. If I have a feeling that the tenant will cooperate and vacate the property on days, I might structure a 70-day escrow, 75-day, or build in some extensions in there so that it allows the time for the buyer to purchase with it delivered vacant. And that's only if I have a strong feeling that the tenant will cooperate. I'll structure a long escrow, because in today's market, you do not want 70, 90-day escrows, because our market and our financial and our economy will change drastically with any type of news. The stock market might be doing great and it's going to crash. There's going to be unemployment increases. There's going to be different types of impacts on the Fed and Treasury rates that can impact the value of your home in a simple 2 to 3 months. You could have a swing of $50,000 to $100,000. Okay, so I don't want a long escrow, because if the price dips, that buyer is going to cancel. The other thing about structuring a long escrow is considering when do you remove all contingencies. So maybe I will only structure a long escrow if the buyer is willing to remove all contingencies. Then I get them committed and I put their deposit at risk. When I talk about the timing of the eviction notice, I normally will not evict a tenant or request them to leave just because I have an offer that's requesting it. I would wait for the removal of contingencies before I take any drastic action, like trying to vacate that unit. So if the buyer removes all contingencies, this is what I write on the counteroffer. Seller will agree to send a notice to vacate to tenant only if and when the buyer removes all contingencies. And then once the buyer takes their action, I'll take my action as a seller to vacate the property. Okay? The problem is California protects them and gives them 60 days if they live there longer, a year. And if you have a Section 8 tenant, which one of my agents is doing right now, they have a 90-day protection period of notice to vacate for Section 8 housing. When I talk about the loss of rent, that's really not really a term. I just threw that in there because I wanted to twist this discussion, but whether they're paying 70% of the rent or not, or they're 100%, that's not really a factor. Like I told you, that tenants are protected by the moratorium. But the timing impacts, other suggestions, what I would think about and consider is the price too. If I can get, everything has a price. If a buyer is willing to, maybe take the property, but a $20,000 price reduction, and they will assume with the tenant because they want to be able to afford eviction and this and this, there's a lot of buyers that will jump for taking care of the $20,000 credit or reduction in price, as long as, because the eviction only cost them $1,000. Okay, so there's always a price for everything. There's always a price to consider in asking the tenant to vacate. And if the tenant is, the 60-day notice, that is what's required by law, but there's always called mutual cooperation. And if you have mutual understanding between landlord and tenant, maybe you can save $3,000, or give the client, maybe the seller can return their full security deposit and give them 1 month's rent if they vacate the property earlier. You don't have to give 60 days. You have to give 60 days, but they could strike an agreement and come to a mutual understanding that and incentivize the tenant to leave earlier, and the tenant in writing and the tenant could agree or don't agree. It's up to the tenant. Give them a choice. To me, if I treat people with respect, and when I talk to a tenant and I'm giving them choices, I think that's respectful, and let them they're adults, let them make a decision. What's the best solution strategy for them? And I'll walk them through, talk them through, and I'll send them articles as well. But if I tell the tenant, you must leave, here's your notice, I'm serving you, get out of here, 60 days, there's not much respect when I give a direction, instruction unilaterally. So to me, if you want to have a great career in real estate, you learn how to use respect the right way. One of the problems in selling a property that has a tenant is regarding fumigation. Because when there's fumigation required for a property, you got to vacate the tenant, the unit for 3 days, sometimes 4, to let the air out of the chemicals and toxics, poisons. And so the owner's got to pay for relocation costs or hotel. And I don't like this when I'm dealing with a tenant-occupied property. So I actually don't sell properties with termite fumigation clearance. I usually will address it with no termite, or I'll give you the client a credit. I don't want to have to deal or have the landlord have to deal with relocation issues. But you should always consider that, because owners think the property is in excellent condition, and the termite will always try to show that there is definitely termites or infestation growing. So and we don't control those reports. If it needs fumigation, it's going to need it. So that's a tough term, but it's easy to cancel out and solve. What I also like to share with you is, maybe really work towards solutions where you can close the escrow and transfer the tenants to the buyer to assume them. The one thing that is impact is the financing. So one of the consequences of most lenders who are Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac lenders, they require the buyer, if they're going to get a primary homeowner's mortgage, the primary homeowner must occupy within 60 days of closing. So there's workarounds, but typically that's their rule of thumb. So we need to make sure the language allows the buyer and shows that the tenant is moving out within 60 days after closing. And then the buyer can still get the great attractive 2.75% 30-year mortgage if they want to, if they're okay. But ultimately, I try to feel out which one is willing to play ball, willing to accept the current tenant. I usually reassure them that the tenants are good, they're cooperative, they're nice people, they're just going through some financial hardship due to COVID, and they do agree to, pay back the rent when they get some money, or, whatever it is. I maybe let them meet the tenants so they can feel more comfortable with the situation. Other strategies you can use to negotiate your escrows. I don't like to negotiate it during the contingency removal repairs phase. I actually, in some situations, like to address it up front. So we could always address some situations with credits and solve the issue. For example, like I told you, maybe take the property with the tenant. They're not leaving, but we'll give you a $10,000 credit. That works if they agree. A per diem might work. And per diem could be something like, the tenant agrees to leave. They wanted to leave, after 30 days after close of escrow. They're gonna pay their rent and everything like this. But maybe we can strategize a way to have a per diem in escrow for a daily charge, in that the seller compensates the buyer for the rate lock, okay? Because the buyer has to wait and pay for a rate lock extension. When I talk about contingency removals, if the buyer removes all contingencies, I'm willing to, send over notices, okay? That's a reminder. And another strategy is to do withholding. So I could represent a seller and say, well, look, buyer, how about this? You said you're willing to wait, move in 30 days after close of escrow, how about I let the seller's proceeds, I withhold $10,000 of the proceeds that the seller is going to continue to work towards getting the tenant to leave. And as long as the tenant leaves on time within the 30 days after close of escrow, then the seller will get their money back. But if they don't succeed, that $10,000 will be forfeited to you as a buyer. So you're protected. Great strategy, great way to close within their 30-day window and still have a solution for the buyers who demand that it's delivered vacant. And if not, they'll get X amount of money that you negotiate that's withheld. I gave you guys a plethora of strategies on this tenant-occupied property. Any questions or advice or steps that you might take? Man, you guys are quiet. This is great stuff, but I'll move on to the next slide if there's no questions. I did add a new attorney comment section that is real great guidance in my Dynasty Agent resources. So please check that out and read about some current litigation and current issues that they're experiencing here in California, and some things to think about. Because I like those attorney comments because it makes me think about situations and specifics that helps me become a stronger broker manager. Please like our Facebook page and our social media pages. I appreciate if you could like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. And if those of you who got your PPP loan, I do encourage you to watch the NAR video for realtors, how to complete your loan forgiveness and pretty much get your full forgiveness because a lot of us don't have what's called employees. So check out that video. And a reminder we're going to get to our marketing portion of our listings. Just a reminder that when you take a new listing, whether it's any residential lease, even vacant land, what we're going to have to do is follow the new guidance of the Clear Cooperation Policy. And all it means is that within 2 business days of you signing a listing contract, you will register it into the MLS under one of the 3 statuses. One is registered, and that is considered no marketing, off market, and you're going to submit the SELM, seller to exclude, from the MLS form. The second is the newest status called coming soon, and coming soon is going to allow you to market the property, allow you to put it on social media, prepare flyers, and put it up in all your Instagrams and everything like that, and email it too. But you just don't have to have, you have to have no showings allowed during the coming soon period, and it must be within 21 days of you registering that listing. The great thing about this is when it's under coming soon status, you can build activity and build interest, and the days on market won't count against your listing. I love the coming soon status. Active is full marketing, full days on market is counting, and you can allow showings. That's when your showings is allowed and being able to schedule. So that's all the 3 differences. Any questions on Clear Cooperation? I'm going to move on if not. If you want to watch the videos, I put some videos up here and links and articles, so you can go ahead and understand the steps if you want to use off-market SCLM form, and what if you want to use the coming soon form. Just click those areas there and really just understand, because I don't want you to get a $2,500 fine. A violation of this rule 7.9, you might get a warning notice once, and if you're a repeat offender, your fine is going to be $500 to $2,500 for each occurrence that they keep getting you at. Don't be a violator. Just follow the rules. if you're working a listing, I'm sure you can update the MLS within 2 business days. That's plenty of time. So our new listings, this is one of our brand new construction townhomes by David Chin. Just a reminder that they're available, and talk to him if you have a client. Luxury, high-end, great location by the racetrack in Santa Anita Mall, and definitely great interior condition. Nancy Liu, she has a nice, beautiful listing here on Hacienda Heights for $549,000, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and a large, what's square footage? 1695. That might be a townhouse. Yeah. Henry Liu, you got 234 Denham in Irvine. Beautiful photography, great looking sky. I love this one, 1.529 million, and that's only $532 per square foot in Irvine. Great price, recently built in 2014. Anything you want to share, Henry?
He is not available to talk, but it's vacant and it's easy to show.
Okay, great. Just schedule, make an appointment. Thank you, Amy, for chiming in, and feel free to add any comments on any of our Arcadia listings. Appreciate it, Amy.
Thank you.
Margaret, you have 9593 Cortada Street, El Monte for lease, $3,300 for a newer construction building in a nice central location by Rosemead and Garvey. Looks like a nice, beautiful home. Talk to her if you have anyone who wants to rent. Only $1.61 a square foot.
And she said her seller is very motivated. They just closed the property last month in July.
Uh-huh.
And it's very easy to deal with landlord.
Okay, very good. Talk to them. Looks like a nice. It looks like a nice home. Standard construction frame. Just a reminder, we do have brand new constructions in Temple City for sale too. So if the client doesn't want Arcadia, they want to jump to Temple City, we got a more affordable homes here. This is priced at $890, $886 to the $918 range, and they're great 2020 built condos, but they're PUD style with detached, completely detached. We already sold in our first week 5 of these PUDs, 5 of these condos. There's really only 3 left. So we had our grand opening last week. Many of you guys joined me. I announced it last week at the sales meeting, and we got a private tour. A lot of people were impressed at the price and the low HOA of only $150. And it is El Monte Schools, but you do have Rosemead High School, which is I think an 8 or a 9 in greatschools.net. Helen has a nice new listing here in San Bernardino. Brand new, 624 Gardena Street in 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single family. So if you're asking and finding a single family in California at $300,000, this is the one. So you can talk to Helen, and it's got a 7,000 square foot lot. It's a 1,600 square foot building. That's a steal at $189 per square foot. Winnie Bai, she's got a lease listing. I think it's $1,500 per month. And technically, no, she just signed the lease and gave me the check yesterday. This is off. This is closed at least in 3 days. Congratulations on your closings. Lawrence Lau got 9823 Garibaldi Avenue in Temple City and just closed escrow. Congratulations, appreciate that. Margaret just closed her listing on 293 Chandler Avenue. This is in Monterey Park. Very excited, and congratulations to the lease for Nancy Liu and Michael Liu. Great tag team, duo team. They just got leased via Marisol, number 134 in LA. Congratulations to Laura. She just closed escrow on 920 Clementine Court in Azusa. Brand new construction, not new construction. It was a newer construction. She pretty much got her asking price, and it closed quickly. Not too many issues. Just a reminder, if you're working in the city of Azusa and you have a listing or a sale purchase, guess what, guys? I gave her a reminder. City of Azusa does check for business licenses. Our company has a business license, but you as a realtor, if you have a listing or sale, you're required to get a business license too, or you might get a fine when they find you. Did we miss your sale? Let us know if you have any coming soons or price needs or wants. Anyone has any anything to share? We're in August, guys. This is peak summertime. You guys are quiet.
Hello.
Laura.
Yes, I have a new listing in Southside Beach. It's a duplex right now, and it's in the process of doing a redevelopment to build 2 luxurious condos over there. So it's 1.6 million, and currently have 2 houses back to back, and they have about like $60,000 in rental income. It is a very good location. It's like 5 steps away from the ocean. Very good.
Yeah, I actually did a review yours. I saw that. So I hope you get that one sold quickly. It's a beautiful property. It could rebuild. It has a lot of potential there. Thanks for sharing that, Laura. Anything else? Anyone else have anything to share? I don't know if there's any, is there any questions in the chat area? I wasn't able to review it. I'm gonna look right now. Nope. Okay. So if that, let me see what else we have on the slides. I think that's pretty much the end of the meeting. Any questions or comments or anything that you want to learn or talk about in next week's meeting? All right. Well, don't forget, if you want to catch up on some of our sales meetings or you miss a training, I do record and put these on my YouTube channel. So like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And please follow all best practices, showing guidelines, and our company prevention plan when you're doing business or when you step foot in this office. Thank you all, everyone. You have a great week. It's the beginning of August. Let's make it a very productive while the season is hot, because it might start to slow down November, December, and October. So talk to me if you have any issues or questions, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi, guys.